Director of Communica. I'm also a mediator, arbitrator, parenting coordinator, and registered social worker. So I provide services to the clients that we work with. Our organization is formally called the South Island Dispute Resolution Center, and we've been providing community-based nonprofit services of dispute resolution and conflict and communication skills development for 41 years here on the South Island. Our mandate is to assist individuals, groups, and communities in managing their differences to promote strong, healthy, and sustainable communities. And our key objectives are to facilitate effective decision-making and to improve communication skills and to reduce the negative impact of conflict on families, individuals, and their community. I'm here to speak to you about our supported family mediation services program. This is a new program that we began developing and delivering in September of this past year, 2015. And it was based on a need that we identified in our community. And we fully funded that pilot internally. It's mediation and dispute resolution support for vulnerable and marginalized families who are not a good fit for the existing services, the existing mainstream funded services, and they can't afford the private services that are available. These are families that are challenged by trauma or other mental health issues, addictions, history of family violence, unstable housing, intercultural or newcomer issues, poverty, child protection involvement. And many of those families experience more than one of these issues at a time. They have very complex circumstances. Our program provides up to 8 hours of free mediation, no cost at all to those families. Our experience has taught us that these families, because of their vulnerability, need to be connected to other community serving organizations. So a big part of our work with them is either about connecting them to other services or getting the referrals from those services already. So our community partners are very important. Some of our very active community partners are based here in Saanich, and as a result, half of the families that have gone through our program have come from Saanich. So Pacifica Housing has a number of their buildings in Saanich and provide referrals. Saanich Neighborhood Place is another one. And then we work with other organizations that serve Saanich residents as well. Ministry of Children and Family, Chatterton office makes referrals into our program. The families that we work with outside of their 8 hours of mediation also receive almost 4 hours of additional support. So that's capacity building and the amount of time we have to work with them just to get them ready. And for every single family that goes through forward to mediation, we work with another additional family, so an equal number of families, providing them about another 4 hours of support, providing them coaching, connecting them to other organizations, although we may have determined that mediation isn't appropriate for them. About 30% of our clients overall come from Saanich, and again, like I said, 50% of the clients in this program have come from Saanich. And while our offices are located in Colwood, many of our families come here, and many of the organizations we work with are from here, and then 2 of our team members have offices based in Saanich, so we are able to serve clients inside the community as well. We have 2 other new programs that intersect directly with this program, and the 3 of them feed off each other a lot. One of them is providing mediation to people who are exiting prison, and another is providing mediation services to kids who are exiting the child protection system. I think that's all of the information about my program.
Any questions from council members? Councilor Brooklyn.
Just one figure that jumps out, and I asked myself, why would Colwood be putting up 8,500 and you're asking 4,500 from Saanich?
Good question. So we own our unit where we live in Colwood, and they've recommended that we apply under a community grant as opposed to applying for a permissive tax exemption. So basically, it's in lieu of our property tax.
Thank you.
Any further questions? Sure, Councilor Knight.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just to the applicant, through you. You've been in existence since 1974. Have you never applied for a grant from Saanich before?
We've applied a few times, a couple of different times. Part of it's been based on what's been effective based on your priorities, what we're working on in a particular area at a given time. And I don't think that we've ever been successful. We've probably applied 3 times that I can find on record, and I have no record of us having been successful.
Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for your presentation. City of Victoria's up next. Is our representative? I'm sure there is in the audience. Didn't think so? All right. Cedarville Golf Club Ladies Division. I'd like to welcome you to the microphone.
Mayor Atwell and Council, thank you for the opportunity to present this evening. I don't know how you stay focused all this time. I am Doreen Hall, the coordinator of the Cedar Hill Golf Club Ladies Division Field Day charity event. I'm accompanied by Carol Thompson. Where did you go? My partner in this endeavour. The Ladies Division of the Cedar Hill Golf Club, a volunteer non-profit community organisation, requests an in-kind grant of $5,000, which represents a portion of the green fees for 132 participants in the 48th Annual Ladies Field Day to support Victoria Hospice, a charity whose exemplary service has touched most of us. Many of the women who enter this tournament are retired and limited in what they can donate to charity. They fully expect that a portion of their entry fee will actually go to Victoria Hospice. Unlike other charity tournaments, the entrants do not receive a tax receipt for a portion of the entry fee, because after catering costs and green fees, all of which are payable to Saanich Municipality, only a small percentage of the $85 entry fee is left to donate to the hospice unless we receive a grant. We have worked hard to increase the donations to our charity through whole sponsorships, monetary donations, silent auction and raffles. I am representative of the ladies who solicit donations whenever we can, wherever we can. One $50 whole sponsorship, one gift certificate at a time. We are older ladies doing our best to raise as much money as we can. The document entitled Cedar Hill Ladies Field Day 2015, and I gave you our visual aid. We were teachers, so we like to give some to our classes, is an indication of how many businesses, golf courses, golf professionals and cash donors we approach on an individual basis. This list includes well over 200 contributions and represents a lot of hard work. Along with all those donations that you see, we also have a list of about 100 monetary donors, which isn't included in that. After expenses for the event are covered, we donate every penny to Victoria Hospice. Your grant for the last 4 years has enabled us to give a higher percentage of the registration fee directly to the charity. To date, our Ladies Division has donated over $112,000 since 1986 to our chosen charity. In 2015, we managed to up the bar to raise over $16,000. No mean feat when you consider the time involved chasing donations by a small dedicated group of women. The Ladies Division of the Cedar Hill Golf Club is grateful for your support for our charity event. Your contributions enhance its success. Victoria Hospice benefits from all our efforts, and the media coverage spotlighting Cedar Hill Golf Course is beneficial for the district of Saanich. In 2015, through our efforts, we were fortunate to procure Saanich Peninsula Co-op as a major sponsor. The municipality benefits from the media coverage our sponsor gives to the event. The Co-op is sponsoring our event in 2016, and the golf course will be included on their website and in their media coverage. To reiterate the sentiments in my letter for consideration for a grant, there are many positive aspects which the Cedar Hill Ladies Field Day charity event brings to the municipality. The event bears your name and highlights your course through all our advertising and whole sponsorships. We have proudly adopted your logo on our team shirts, our jackets, our letterhead, and our website. Our new exciting website, www.ladiesfieldday.com, developed by a volunteer, advertising everything good about the course. We expose the course to 132 ladies from the Lower Mainland, Southern Vancouver Island, the Gulf Islands, and Greater Victoria. The event brings ladies to play in the tournament and in a practice round the day before the event. For many of these ladies, it is a first-time experience, and 95% of them return to Cedar Hill the following year. The positive experience engendered by the event has attracted new members from other clubs to play at Cedar Hill and brought new players to the game. It brings an income from catering and beverage sales and possible bookings for the course and its amenities. The receipt of the Distinguished Service Award, and I included on the front page our relationship with hospice. For our long history of supporting Victoria Hospice, gave media coverage directly to Cedar Hill Golf Course. 2014, Cedar Hill Ladies Golf Club was honoured as Hospice Heroes in Victoria Hospice's annual report. The event gives media coverage to the municipality when Victoria Hospice highlights the contribution from the field day in their publications and includes the organisers in their celebrations. We create goodwill for the district of Saanich whenever the course is used for events such as this. I'm proud to be past captain of Cedar Hill Golf Club and a coordinator of the event. The ladies work tirelessly to ensure the success of our field day, which highlights Saanich's little gym. The course has never been in better shape than it was last season, I have to tell you that. The Cedar Hill Ladies Division will continue to increase awareness of Cedar Hill Golf Course by the golfing community and by the community in general. Our Ladies Division is alive and well and growing. Thank you for this opportunity to present and for your kind consideration of our request for a grant. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from council? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Up next is the Capital Region Refugee Sponsorship Group.
Good evening, Mayor Afro, councillors. My name is Dulcie Fernandez, and I'm the Chair and Signing Officer for the Capital Region Refugee Sponsorship Group. With me tonight is Brian Price. He's a member of our group and our financial coordinator, treasurer. Brian submitted an application for a community grant on behalf of our group, and we're both here tonight to tell you a little bit about who we are and what we're working toward, what we're trying to accomplish, and to ask for a one-time grant of $5,000 to help with this effort. So we are a private refugee sponsorship group. Our group consists of 9 individuals, and all but 3 are residents of Saanich. We're bound together in this group with a shared goal of sponsoring, participating in a sponsorship program that under the auspices of the Intercultural Association of Greater Victoria. So we are a constituent group of the Intercultural Association, and we work closely with their refugee coordinator. To this end, we've raised close to $35,000 through donations from members and friends and family, and through fundraising efforts. And we need to raise $47,000. Our target is $47,000 to fulfill our sponsorship commitment with the Intercultural Association. So, as you know, for the past 5 years, Syria has been in an escalating state of warfare, and several million Syrians have had to leave their homes and communities. And among these millions of displaced people are 4 relatives of a gentleman who lives with his family here in the upper quadrant neighborhood of Saanich. This man and his wife immigrated from Syria in 2005. They're both employed here. They have 2 children who attend local schools. And last December, our sponsorship group was matched with this individual by the Intercultural Association. He approached the Intercultural Association because he was desperately trying to get his sister and her husband and their 2 children out of Turkey, where they've been living in rapidly deteriorating circumstances for almost a year. Children have been out of school, the parents unable to work, their savings dwindling. no possibility of returning to their home. They're from a city in northern Syria, which has been caught in the crossfire between government and opposing forces, and there's been a lot of bombing in that area as well. So our group has been matched with this family, and we're working hard to raise the funds and the resources to fulfill our sponsorship commitment with the Intercultural Association. And to that end, we're hoping that the municipality would be able to support us with a one-time only grant of $5,000. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from council? All right, seeing none. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Up next is CR Fair.
We're almost there. We must save the best for last. Your stamina is truly amazing. Good evening. It's undeniable that food security is a growing concern to the residents of Saanich. I know this because I've been working in community for over 20 years promoting local and healthy food systems. My name is Linda Gagey, and I work for the Capital Region Food and Agriculture Initiatives Roundtable, CR Fair, as many of you know it. We play an important leadership and coordinating role in the region and have grown to be a network of over 100 food, farm, and health organizations. In the last year, we hosted over 35 workshops, forums, and roundtables, engaging over 10,000 residents across the region directly in these activities, as well as work directly with 500 students, engaging them in service learning opportunities, working on projects related to food security and sustainability. In our work as a backbone organization and leading a collective impact strategy, there's been 3 goals identified in the region for achieving by 2025, and that is to grow the local food economy, increasing local food production and consumption from 5% to 25%, to ensure that all residents understand the food system and impacts of the decisions on health and sustainability, and the third is that no one will go to bed or start their day hungry. We have a strong track record of working with the district to support community roundtables. Saanich, we've had a number of community roundtables in Saanich. The Food Forward Forum at the Horticulture Center of the Pacific. We just had Farmer to Farmer, and as more recently been developing the Flavor Trails program. We've also worked alongside staff to support the development of supportive bylaws for agriculture and food, including backyard chicken bylaws, community markets, and the longer-term policy initiative such as the current Regional Farmland Trust initiative. We know that supporting local food and agriculture is a growing area of priority for the district. This is expressly demonstrated in the Official Community Plan 5117 that supports connecting residents to local food. Our request for operating funding is to support CR Fair efforts with a particular focus on our partnership-based education engagement program, the Flavor Trails, and Youth Food Action Initiative. Over the past 2 years, we've worked with Sustainable Saanich to expand the popular North Saanich Flavor Trails event to Saanich. This initiative acts to organize and promote events that connect people directly to local farms, food businesses, and food organizations. Key Flavor Trails initiatives include Strawberries and Wine, a Flavor Cycles, Flavor Trails Weekend, and Urban Garden Tour, as well as a host of partner local food tours, festivals, and feasts. Last year we had over 6,000 people directly engaged in the Flavor Trails, and we reached tens of thousands more through media and outreach. This year, we have a real desire to support more youth participation in the Flavor Trails, and we heard that this was identified as within the youth development strategy as a wish of youth to have more opportunities for engagement in food projects and initiatives. So the Flavor Trails project not only provides residents with more access to local food and farms and increases their food literacy and ability to make more sustainable food choices, but it's proven to be a real driver for the local farm and food businesses, reporting that they increased customer traffic and in some cases had their best sales of the season. Really important aspect of the Flavor Trails is that it brings many partners together, and we work together to promote a whole host of activities over the season. It really gets a real bang for everyone's buck. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you have about the Flavor Trails program and its growth and our interest in working with Saanich again to include Saanich residents in the program and promote Saanich food and farm businesses. And thanks so much for all your time tonight.
Questions? Councillor Plant?
Yeah, thank you. I had a nap this afternoon, that's why I'm doing so well.
I should have.
I was up at 6:30, so say la vie. Question for through you, Mr. Mayor, back to you. I see that you've got 14,000 in municipal and regional government grants. If you got approximately 7 last year from Saanich, can you tell me who else is contributing? Because you are the seat capital regional, so I would assume that there's some regional support.
That's right. So particularly for the Flavor Trails initiative this coming year, North Saanich will be providing $12,000 worth of support. The CRD is providing we're just in talks right now about between $6,000 and $10,000 in in-kind support through working with us on the production of materials and also their graphic design and their communications team, which is really exciting because that's an area that we really think needs development and work.
So are there any other municipalities that you can point out?
Oh, Central Saanich also has provided $3,000 for the Flavor Trails. So it's focused on the Saanich Peninsula and Saanich, urban Saanich area.
I will confess to not knowing a lot about your organization. Second question I would just pose is, you're asking for an increase from $7,000 to $15,000, but I don't see specific ways other than saying that you're hoping to have more community engagement and more education.
Yeah, well, the difference in the ask is related to the fact that we're able to raise enough money to initiate and do the Flavor Trails activities, but we have there's two different aspects. One is not a lot of support for developing and growing this, and we've been working with Dallas Gislason with the YYJ Prosperity Project, and they've identified this as one of the key areas for development for the agriculture sector in the region, and we need the capacity to work with Dallas to develop that initiative. The second area is that we want to engage more with youth, and we've applied for an HRDC student summer position to work on the Flavor Trails, and this additional funding would match that to be able to provide a youth position on the Flavor Trails this year, which would be really exciting.
What happens if we don't provide the additional funds from the 7,000 to 15 that you've asked for in the upcoming year?
Well, we will have to figure out how we can work with Dallas to develop the longer term program growth of the Flavor Trails. We need to bring more sponsorship into the program to make it sustainable over time and build in a fee structure for the food and farm businesses involved, because they're great at getting a lot of value out of the initiative, but don't have a lot of contribution at this point. And I'm hoping that we'll still be able to have our youth coordinator, but I'll have to look really closely at our budgets.
Okay, thank you very much.
Any more questions? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
All right, last one in this section is... The Bipolar Disorder Society of BC is lost on our list today. I think we cleaned the house. Pardon?
Dry grad.
Yeah, we get there. But it's really empty, the audience out there. It's a bit like the groom's side and the bride's side of the wedding. All right, so we'll move on to item D, Community Association Operating Plans.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is the program that's established in the policy for the Community Association Operating Grants. It's based on the population that the community associations represent. The chart is provided for council, and with this, we're actually looking for a recommendation to approve the grants.
Discussion. Councilor Plant.
Only briefly that we've got to find a way to have these people not sit here for 4.5 hours just to have us conduct this vote. Should be done on a different night, so perhaps that can be taken away that this happens with the community, bigger ones that we do, because this is policy that we provide this, provided that they meet the criteria, so there's not a lot of subjectivity to this.
Who are you talking about?
The tri-grad?
We're not there yet. No, the community association.
I am so sorry, I misheard, I thought that we were adjourned to, my apologies. Not long enough now.
That's good practice for the tri-grad.
All right. Okay, any more discussion then? Seeing none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed? None opposed, that motion is carried. All right, item E.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This item are the Dry Grad grant requests. Again, it's established on a $5 per capita basis that we pay after the event. We received 2 applications from St. Andrews, Claremont, and Spectrum. And it would appear we have a presenter from one of those schools.
I'd like to bring you up to the microphone.
Councilor Merrill, nice to see you again.
Hello again.
My name is Sapphire Dorward, and I'm one of the grade 12 students that are a part of the committee that's currently raising funds for Spectrum's Dry Grad. We will have up to 320 students celebrating their graduation at a safe drug and alcohol-free event at Perks Recreation Center. We're putting a lot of money, time, and effort towards ensuring that this will be an alcohol and substance-free event, but we'll also be able to have a lot of fun and enjoy a safe night. Our group has been planning the celebration since September with the help of more than 20 parents and many of our teachers. Since it is hosted by parents and volunteers rather than the school, the Dry Grad will not receive any funding from Spectrum, so we're relying 100% on community support. Following our graduation ceremony at the University of Victoria, we will be escorted onto buses to Perks with no stops along the way to ensure the event will be substance-free. The Dry Grad will run from 11 p.m. to 4 a.m. and for many of us, it will be the last time we will see our classmates together all at once for a very long time. So we want to ensure that it will be a safe and fun night for everyone, considering the number of alcohol-related accidents are at its highest during the month of June. We appreciate your time and support that the Saanich Council might be able to give us. Thank you. Any questions?
Questions? See you.
Have a good night.
Call the question. All in favor? Opposed? None opposed, that motion is carried unanimously. Thank you. All right. Next on the agenda is public input. I'm not sure there's any members of the public left. One to the back. Any members of the public would like to provide input on the budget and these items? I'll invite you up to the microphone. Call for first time. Call for second time. Call for third time. All right. Last item on the agenda, budget recap and community deliberation. I think we're all pretty cooked here at this point. Are there any questions for staff or any discussion you'd like to have amongst yourself? Councilor Bowman.
Thank you very much. I'm not sure what the best way to do this is, but I guess I'd like to see a report come back from staff looking at possibly a 2.9 and 2.75 budget increase. And it becomes difficult because do we as council look at all the departments and decide where we're going to pull that $500,000 from, or do we leave it up to staff? And I'm not sure what the process will be, but I'd like to see what it looks like. That's my one question. And another question I have is at our next meeting, I think it would be healthy if all of us as council could look at our budget and say, I support it, I can go along with it, or if there's an issue or a couple of issues that I can't support that would prevent me from going along with it, mention those concerns that we might have.
to our Director of Finance for response to the question from Councilor Woodland.
Through the mayor, council can provide whatever direction council wishes to provide in the budget in terms of a target number. It would be helpful to staff if that came with some specificity about where staff were to look. Clearly, you've seen a whole series of grant proposals come before you. There are proposals in excess of what have been budgeted for grants for this year as well. There's also the additional resource requests that come through both Saanich and Saanich Police for both positions and ongoing resource requests. It would be helpful if staff had some direction from council on those particular aspects. Without that direction, staff are left in a bit of a vacuum to try and get to a number, whether that's a percent or something else, with little direction. We would have to start with the new requests, and we would start with a broad look at the requests for grants as well. Beyond that, then we're talking about potentially impacting service levels to reduce the budget. So that's the broader perspective, but going forward, if there's a desire to get to a particular percentage number, and I caution council on chasing that target or a target in that way, but some specific direction would be